Hi, what up, YouTube? This is No Cap, No Filter. I'm your host, Marley G, back at y'all on the episode of Running With You. And today we got to run about Amber Rose, man. She was on Paul Pierce podcast, and she said the same thing a lot of these older bros been saying lately. She can't find a man in her dating range, so she's forced damn near to date these younger guys 20 years her age. 20 years younger of her, at least. Um, we're gonna go ahead on and get into it. I haven't watched this. We're gonna react to it together, but let's see what she talking about, man. I'm so tired of this rhetoric right here.
I love that. So you talked about men that approach you or talk to you or are drawn to you are typically younger, like in their 20s.
Yes.
So do you typically go for that, or
So I think, okay, so when I did the Ball Brothers podcast,
Yeah.
I think that it came off wrong.
Okay.
So let me set the record straight.
set it straight?
Okay. So the majority of men that try to talk to me are very, very young.
Okay.
Now, I haven't always been 42 years old.
Okay.
So this is a new chapter in my life where I'm like, this is very interesting.
Yeah.
That all the younger guys like me now. As an older woman, they're approaching me in a different way. And I haven't always been an older woman. So I never really understood how to navigate that. So it's not necessarily something that I go towards, but they kind of come towards me now.
Gravitate towards you.
Yeah, it's like a thing now, you know?
I mean,
and I'm like,
all age groups gravitate towards you. Come on now.
Yeah,
It's just that you just noticing it more with the young guys now, just more than ever.
I think so, Paul. I think
Wow.
yeah, I think so. I just, even in my DMs, they're all very young.
What's your idea? Age? What's your? Because we had some ladies
All right, I'm gonna play it, and well, let me play it a little bit.
on here, and they said they range. We had a lady that was on here said from 23
Ray
to,
Taylor,
to 70.
But you know what, Amber, you're like one of the fourth women that came on here that said the same thing you're saying right
Yeah,
now.
for sure.
Okay.
Like they're saying like
it's
the
a
younger
thing.
ones gravitate towards them, like period. I've heard that.
And again, I haven't always been 42. So
Yeah,
has this
right.
always been a thing that younger men like older women?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah?
it does. I
Okay.
think it is. And you know what
Yeah.
someone said that made sense to me? The older men want the younger women.
Yeah.
And the
She just hit the nail on the head. Okay, this what it is. A lot of the dudes who hitting her up right now were fans of her and they want to try to be chance, and a lot of the dudes who like in that realm of access to her that's in the entertainment industry, they fans of her and they want that chance, and they're not going to take her serious. That's the thing. They're not going to take her serious. But the older guys that's in her age range, it could be a couple of things. Maybe they already married. Maybe they just want to go for a young chick. Maybe it could be all sorts of reasons, but for the most part, a lot of these young dudes, they either just trying to smash if they like already lit and got motion, or they just trying to, be a slouch off of her, like a lot of these young dudes, they prey on older women with money, so they're gonna just try to, leech off of her as much as they can, get themselves in the limelight, maybe have her help him with any ideas that they got going on, and then once he up and he got access to a lot of other beautiful women like her, he gonna bounce. That just is what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. The truth is, she fumbled her youth. She had access to a lot of wealthy men, access to a lot of prevalent, high status men, and she fumbled it. She didn't, have that long-term family. She had a kid with Wiz. I think she was married to Wiz. To me, that's probably who she should have stayed with. She even admitted it herself. But she probably felt like she could have got better. And I think what happened was she was with Kanye and she knew how that felt to be with a high status man. And I think Kanye maybe kicked her to the curb, and then she got with Wiz at a time where Wiz was hot. And then since then, I think Wiz always been a star. He's been like a damn near superstar. I wouldn't say he's an icon like a Kanye, but he's always been a very high profile star. But he just ain't as prevalent as he was when he first got with her as far as the music, just dropping, multiple hits, Now, if he would have just been dropping multiple hits, I think she would have stayed. But the hits wasn't just coming back to back. And ladies, y'all got to capitalize in y'all youth years. It's possible for her to find love at 42 because she looks great at 42. But more often than not, you want to find that love at 25 at least. Once you hit 25, that's the days where you need to lock a man down, by the time you 28. You got 3 years, you know what I'm saying? Because once you hit 30, dating becomes very hard. A lot of people are stuck in their ways. A lot of people they're not going to really much settle, especially if you in that Hollywood lifestyle. Now regular people, they settle all the time. Because a man gonna need a woman and a woman gonna need a man, like they just know what it is. But these Hollywood folks, they so stuck on their image. They worry about who they with,
Younger guys are like, ooh, she bad, I could conquer her, she's older.
Yeah.
And that is like a prize to them, where the young woman is a prize to the older man.
So what they say to me is that they like older women because we're more established.
Mm-hmm.
We have children. We have all the snacks. We cook.
They say that.
We're very clean. Which, I mean, listen, I wouldn't say that I was a nasty girl in my 20s, but as you do get older,
I say this all the time.
You're a little more hygienic.
Yeah. They drag me for that. They were like, girls are hygienic in their 20s. I'm like, it's different. You are, but.
Oh, damn, I wanted to hear some more. All right, now, as far as I think when it comes to the hygiene part, I think you get more experienced, you get more information, you get more knowledgeable. You know how to do things the more easier, appropriate way, as far as being a woman and keeping up with feminine products and keeping up with your hygiene, things of that nature. And on top of that, you probably eat more clean. You don't have the desire to eat a lot of fast food, eat a lot of soda, eat pork and all that. And I think all that deal with your oral hygiene, your skin. I think it deal with your breath. I think it deal with your bowel. Like it deals with a lot. And the older you get, the more knowledge you get, you start to change your habits. And you probably start working out because, you want to maintain this figure as long as possible. To whereas when you young, you just doing whatever because you already got the nice body. You already got the youth and the looks. And you just feel like this is going to last forever. Nobody can tell you no different. It's almost like Zion Williamson. Zion was like 20 years old, jumping out the gym. People telling him to change his diet and all that. He feel like he ain't got to change his diet. He still could go in that court and do the same thing. Because you're young. Yeah, but I think the girl in the middle, she was definitely Azar. She was definitely making a point. The older guys, they want the younger woman. The younger guys, they want the older woman because they could provide certain stuff that the young woman can't. The older women more established and more nurturing. That's the thing. They're more established and more nurturing. To whereas when you are older man, you want a young girl that you can find to be impressionable. Because the older woman, she's 42. The men who's 42, instead of getting with her, who been with Kanye, Wiz, this guy, that guy, who then showed her around the world, showed her everything, she's less impressionable than a girl who's 22. Men like to impress girls. Why you think Kevin Gates still with his girl, but Lil Wayne not with his girl no more? Lil Wayne let the internet get to him. And it's crazy he let the internet get to him when he's so quote unquote not on the internet, right? But I think all this is just cope. I think a lot of men hit on them regardless. They just more noticing of the women. I mean the men in their age. Because when she was 22, I'm pretty sure guys that were 22 and lit were trying to talk to her so long as she's attractive. And guys who were 42. You know, it's just now that she's 42, she's caught off guard that the 22 is still trying to talk to her. And the only reason he's trying to talk to her is because she looked good. You know, that's the only reason. And she's Amber Rose. A dude would like to get that under their belt. It's bragging rights. But I don't know what y'all think down in the comment section below. You feeling what she's saying? Is it cope? Let me know. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, what you're waiting on. Until next time, I'm out.